So enough of that. So today, I'm going to address a couple of things that are hilarious. SJW ignorance about Star Wars and George Lucas and the characters. Now, if you watch Melissa Harris Perry and you're you watch MSNBC, LSD, whatever you want to call it. I don't watch left-wing propaganda TV at all. As a liberal, I find it offensive. I find it very offensive, and at times I find Fox News offensive. I don't need any bias. Just tell me what's going on. Let me make up my own mind. Melissa Harris Perry is one of the very outspoken yip-yappers on MSNBC. And a few weeks back, she said Darth Vader was racist because he was black. Yeah, she said that. You know, obviously, she didn't realize anything about the character. Obviously, she doesn't realize that underneath the mask is a badly burned up, injured, lanky blonde-haired guy with clear blue eyes. So guess what? He isn't black. The armor is black. The life support system he wears is black, but he's not black. Okay? In fact, Melissa, you want to come over here? Sit down. I will show you pictures of what actually is under the suit. This is Melissa Harris Perry, who thinks Darth Vader is black. Well, let's see. Here's Anakin Skywalker as a young boy, aka the soon-to-be Darth Vader. Here he is as a young Padawan learner, apprentice to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here he is, full-fledged Jedi, and basically getting ready to turn into Darth Vader. Wow, he's black. So how did he turn black? Well, let's see. He got wounded on Mustafar, got burned up in the lava, and he had to wear this suit. A life support armored suit. Wow. Which is actually a symbol of the dark side. It has nothing to do with race. Woman, have you ever even seen a Star Wars movie? There, I'm done. Ta-da! There you go. Second one. SJW's bitching and moaning about representation in Star Wars. Okay. Back in the 80s, there was a bisexual alien female. And then in the Han Solo trilogy, the origin story, there was a Grand Moff who, Han's ex-girlfriend, Bria Theron, was actually kind of cuckolding, pretending to be a kept woman. And it's in the Hutt Gambit, and Han goes up to, with the bribe, to give to the guy, or to talk to the guy about Jabba and the rest of the Hutt clans wanting to bribe him, so they basically would be left alone. And the plan was to allow the smugglers to defeat the Imperial fleet, and the Empire would just leave them alone. All right. Han Caesar doesn't get what's going on, is really, really, really upset. Again, we have a very young, probably 22, 23-year-old Han Solo. You know, I can see him sort of gangly, sort of, you know, not filled in yet. Not, you know, when you saw him in Star Wars, you saw him in Empire, and then you see him in Return of the Jedi. He filled out. All right, this is very, very young Han Solo. So he's very upset when he sees Bria. What he doesn't know is Bria is spying on the guy for the Rebel Alliance. And nothing's going on between them because that Grand Moff, or was he an admiral? I have to go back and look. He was either a fleet admiral or a Grand Moff. But he's gay. All right. Now, Crispin doesn't go out and say it, but you know he is. Representation? Really? You know, by the way, It wasn't shoved in your face. It was what it was. Instead of, you know, tokens like Vice Admiral Gender Studies being trotted out for everybody and paraded by for everybody to see. You know, tokens like, well, they've reduced Finn to being a token. Lando wasn't a token. You know, and let's talk more about representation of women. Leia, Mon Mothma. Let's go into the novels. We have Jaina Solo, Mara Jade, Bria Theron, mechanic's daughter named Jessa. You know, there's so many I can't name them all. All right. Then, let's go to the Clone Wars TV show. Ahsoka Tano, Shakti, my personal favorite female Jedi, Luminara Unduli, a plethora of other female Jedis. Let's go to the dark side. Asajj Ventress, who is, I think, one of the greatest female characters they ever came up with, who could, I would say, kick Rey's ass from one end of the galaxy to the other. All right. Then we have the Night Sisters. We have Mother Townsend. And it goes on and on and on and on. No representation of women. Really? Wrong. Let's talk about the novelists. I've talked about this before. A.C. Crispin, who wrote the Solo trilogy. Woman, and, you know, you just go through the lines, there are at least like 6 or 7 women who wrote for the Star Wars universe when it was actually something good. All right. And then we'll come up to the final one because this is just hysterical. They've come up with a Star Wars Celebration t-shirt. Star Wars is for everybody. When did that happen? And how is it, considering everybody who's actually a Star Wars fan has been browbeaten for not liking TFA, TLJ, and all the garbage they've put out because it's way too politically correct. Star Wars is for everybody except for real Star Wars fans. Except for straight men, straight white men in particular, white women, and basically minorities, and there are quite a few. Just go through the YouTube channels of people who hate Disney Star Wars, and you'll see black men like Abu Nas, Damanjanai, Mark of the Sea, you know, several, you know, and others I'm not, you know, but there are a lot more. Okay, these are just off the top of my head. Latinos, Ivan Ortega, women, me, Jesse, Mecca Random, Anna, Bonnie, and there are a lot more too. Okay, Toriel, all right? We're not part of it. And the reason why, and it's such a bullshit t-shirt, and I'd love, if I ever do this, I'm going to sell t-shirts that says Star Wars is for everybody except for Star Wars fans. We're not allowed because we didn't like anything Disney's put out there. And Disney has allowed this to happen, us to be browbeaten, run off, treated like shit by the employees of Lucasfilm and their ancillaries. Pablo Hidalgo, Mike Martin, you know, you name it. Now let's talk about the people on the outside but still are part of Lucasfilm. That pipsqueak Brian Young. Ryan Johnson himself. Let's see what else. Oh, Steele Saunders from Steele Wars. Jason Ward, who obviously was the one that went to Wikipedia and put those racist things up about Kelly Marie Tran and made up that whole thing to make us look bad. I mean, Star Wars is for everybody, except for the fans who've been there for the last 40 effing years. All right? Who expected a lot more than mediocrity and bullshit and outright horrifying, which is what we've gotten. All right? Star Wars is for everybody. So, we've got a woman who thinks Darth Vader is racist because he's black. I'm going to prove that to be wrong. We've got SJWs demanding to have more representation when it was there already. And, you know, gays, straight, gays, minorities, la la la. The Star Wars universe was a plethora of representation. It just was there. It wasn't forced. And that's the problem. It's either there or it's not. You don't parade a creature like Haldo around as a token. Okay? I mean, yuck. First of all right. No representation of women writers. Go look at the EU, please. Go look at the authors. Okay? And Star Wars is for everybody. That's the new t-shirt. Except for men, or straight men. Gay men who don't like what Disney's done to Star Wars, and there are a lot of them. Women who don't like what Disney's done to Star Wars, and there are a lot of us. Black men, Latinos, Asians, probably Native Americans, Southeast Asians, you know, Jews, Christians, Muslims, atheists, pagans, Taoists, Buddhists, anybody who didn't like what they did, it's not for you. It's only for the freaky deaky, divisive SJW and SJW ideologues, because that's what they want. So Star Wars is not for you, viewer. It's not for me. It's not for anybody out there that actually really loves Star Wars. Because all Star Wars is to Lucasfilm right now is a way to put up a bullshit ideology. And if you follow Hidalgo, you'll see it. And for some reason, that bastard, after treating us like shit for 6 years or longer, still has a job and is safe. Why? This is Steph, signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy. I'll see you around the cantina. Please remember to tip your Wookiee bartenders 20% and don't start any fights in the cantina, because you know what the Wookiee bouncers will do. And no gunfights and no bounty hunters. I'll see you around, scoundrels.